Sarah Strauss here with RealAgriculture.com. Today I have here with me Todd Latimer. How's it going today, Todd?
Good. How are you?
Good, thanks. So can you tell me a bit about what we're talking about here today?
Canola Palooza. We recently attended before we're getting rained out late in the day. So a little bit about ESN and the booth we had there at that time.
So can you tell me a bit about why nitrogen is important to canola production?
Well, nitrogen is important for a few reasons, but it's basically, probably if you looked at it today, it's probably one of the most limiting factors that we see in canola production today. And you can get, a lot of people can use, you can either use too much nitrogen or too little, so it's very sensitive in that regard. And then it's obviously a building block for things like protein synthesis, and we need it for vegetative growth and yield as well. So it's an important part of the equation.
Why would producers want to use ESN for their nitrogen source?
Great question. So ESN is it's essentially a polymer-coated urea. So it has that flexible polymer coating on it, which really allows it to release and respond as the crop grows, and it matches up perfectly with the growth curve of the crop itself.
Would you say it has any impact on the seed safety?
Absolutely, yeah. Seed safety is probably one of the bigger reasons canola growers use it. It's because of that polymer coating. It protects it. There's no seed burn. We can use up to 3 times whatever your provincial guidelines are for seed safety of urea.
And can it be used mixed with other fertilizers?
Absolutely, yeah. Another big advantage, yeah, for storage of it as well as the application. It's blended with other dries as well.
Okay, and what is your recommendation for ESN on canola?
For ESN, we can use it. It's the best part about it is its flexibility. So if you don't have enough time in the spring, you can put it on in the fall. We recommend using it something like anhydrous ammonia at that point, where you put it on late, just before freeze up. Then that polymer will freeze and not it'll stay there and not release over the winter. We get into the spring months and it'll start to actively release and become available at that point. Or you can use it in the spring. You can go out either ahead of your drill before you're applying, or you can apply it with the seed as we talked about. You can mid-row band it, you can broadcast it. There's a lot of different ways you can use it. And as far as the application, we usually recommend preferably 50% of your blend is ESN. We've seen people use as little as 30% and as much as 70 or 80%. So we kind of use that 50-50 with urea blend as a rough guideline.
So how would this flexible window be important for canola?
For canola, it's especially with hybrids today, they have such a little bit longer growing season, but they require a lot more nutrients than what we would have seen 10, 20 years ago. So ESN's there, as we say, it kind of releases with that crop as it's growing. It makes it available while the crop's growing, and so it needs all those nutrients. And so when you get to that later part of the season where it's getting into pod fill and that critical timing, there's still nitrogen there. It's because it's releasing at that controlled rate. It's there at the end of the season when you need it most for pod fill to help your yields.
Okay, awesome. Anything else you'd like to add?
No, it's just other than ESN, when you're buying, different times of the year, a lot of people buy their urea. Just buy your ESN at the same time when you buy it to lock in the spread and make sure it's consistent throughout the year for you. But yeah, buy them hand in hand at the same time.
Great, thank you very much.
You bet.